Hi, this is Mayank, and I am a student of College of Technology, Pandnagar, and currently pursuing BTech IT and in third year. And currently, I am doing internship with SmartBridge, and my project title is predicting life expectancy using machine learning. So basically, in this video, I will demonstrate how I have done all my project work and uses many services. So basically, in this project, I have to predict the life expectancy based on the past data, and the data which I have taken this the data from Kaggle. So this is the link for Kaggle. This is link, and I use cloud IBM cloud for all this, and this is my resource list. And IBM IBM cloud have great platform for doing this type of project. I use many cloud services like Watson Studio, machine learning, and Node-RED for doing my project. And Watson Studio, I done my all coding work, and in Node-RED, I do my front work, front end. So opening Watson Studio. So basically, this is my Watson Studio, and I have Watson Service Machine Learning in this for some credentials like API key, instance ID, which I used in front end, which I use in Node-RED for joining front end and back end. So this is my, and this is the data which I use for predicting my data used for predicting my result for the project. And this that in the given data, all the columns are numeric except the two, country and status, which are of data type object. And let's jump to the programming program where I have written all these things. So basically, this is my program. I import some basic libraries of Python like pandas, numpy, matplotlib, seaborn, and etc. Here I import my dataset which I previously uploaded on the cloud itself. And see, in this dataset there are so this is data in this dataset there are many white spaces in column name. So here I'll remove all the extra white spaces from the column names. Also we can see that here there are many null values in the dataset. So I I remove all the rows which contain the null values. And here I also drop the country column because there are almost 193 countries data. So it is difficult to you know estimate the proper result. So and here here I apply one hot encoding for the status column to change it to the numerical value. And like for deploying it is 0, and for deployed it is 1. So we can see that from here all the are in all the columns values are in numeric. And from the 12 line, I divide the dataset into two parts. One is independent variable and other is independent variable. Here our independent variable is like life expectancy. And in this plot, I check the skewness of all the columns of the dataset, and we can see that most of the columns are skewed. And basically here we check the correlation. Sorry, here we check the correlation between dependent and independent variable. That shows how much independent variables are correlated with the dependent variable. Here we see that schooling and adult mortality are highly correlated with with life expectancy, as they are very near 1 and -1. And here I try to find the sorry, and here I try to find the relation between different independent variables. And say same here, this is heat map, and this also show the correlation between different dependent and independent variables. So basically, so in this, in 29th line, I do some train test split algorithm for splitting our data set into train and test. So here I applied two regression algorithm. One is linear regression and another is random forest regression. For the linear regression, R2 score is 0.82, which means almost 82% accuracy. And for the random forest regression, the R2 score is 0.944, which means almost 94% accuracy. So I took random forest regressor to, for my final result, to predict my final result. In order to connect the front end with back end, uh, we need to generate scoring endpoint. So this is basically the code for the scoring endpoint. And these are my APIs, key, WML credential, and these are I took these from the machine learning service I used for doing this project. So these are my credentials, like APIs key, instance ID, URL, which I used, which are same in this, and further in noted these all are same, and these are used for here. These are used for generating the scoring endpoint. So this is my scoring endpoint, and I use this scoring endpoint for the node, for using Node to connect front end with the backend. And this is our backend part. All the work I have done in Watson Studio is my backend part. So let's jump into Node. On opening Node, we have just here Cloud Foundry app, and just click in this and it will open the Node for us. So this is my Node, and from this I go to Node Flow Editor, and this is my Node editor. And in Node there are different nodes which each have their different properties. And first node is form. You can see that here, these are all the columns which we have to fill for taking inputs, and this shows in our web UI. So all are these, and I provided them a name like ABCD, and I use these names and further for doing taking inputs. In this node, I generate the pre-token for the message. For the message, we make some global variable that are used further. And see, this is the API key which I am talking about, and this is same in backend as well as this front end. So here we make some headers. And sorry, and see, this is the instance ID, and we have to create a token from the pre-token we have created, and to get this, and make some headers like bearer header, and instance ID is same as the previous one, and these are the global variables that we said earlier. And see, these are all the fields means all the columns that we finalize in our backend. or we set it in our coding model, and these all are same, and these are the variables that we set, or these are the names of the all the columns that we set in the node form, and these all are used to the inputs of from the user. And this is the http request, and this is the scoring, and this is the scoring endpoint that I generate in my model in backend for connecting front end and backend, and all the APIs keys and instance ID are used for doing all this. So let's deploy our model, and these all are, this is the showing the output of my model, and for doing this, and this is our final web UI that user can see or use to predict the life expectancy of on based on the given data. So here I use year, status, adult mortality, alcohol percentage, expenditure, BMI, etc. for doing all this. So I took the first row of, or I placed all the inputs from the first row of, so wait, sorry, all the row of the this first row, like countries, Afghanistan, and all that thing, and my output is comes is 64.25, and this is the year, so 64.25 years. So while I check in this, so the life expectancy is 65 here. So see, my model prediction accuracy is 94%. So see, the original is 65 and my comes is 64 point something. So this is the error of 6%. Or why I'll changing some of the values, like here I have changed, and adult mortality I've changed, and all variable I change, and the see the prediction value is changing. These all are the prediction values that are changed. So if I change this, or schooling, I change schooling. So this is my final project output, and this is WI. Hope all of you are doing well. Thank you. Stay home, stay safe.